Grand Rising, my Grand Risers. Grand Rising, my Grand Risers. Hey, get outside, get y'all some of that sun. If it's cold outside, get you some of that cold. If it's raining, get you an umbrella, get you some of that rain. And if it's snowing outside, you need to move. Just don't be in the house waiting on that narcissist to call you. Why? They supposed to be blocked. Once you block them, you don't unblock them. Talk about you want to see whether they change. You want to see whether they got their act together. You want to see whether they go apologize. The answer is D. None of the above. They did change. They not go apologize, and they did get their act together. Stay off their social media, guys. Stay off their Facebooks, their TikToks, their Instagrams. Don't write them a letter. Don't ride past their job. Don't call them private. And when they answer the phone, you hang up. Stay off their social medias. Okay, I'm going to talk to y'all today about narcissists and avoidance and the fact that they unteachable. They unteachable, man. They're like a bad kid in school that only came to school to act bad and don't want to listen, don't care about what the teacher talking about, don't care about none of that. That's what narcissists and avoidance is. They're unteachable, bro. They unteachable, and that's part of the reason why God chose us. Because not only is we great people and we got all these great qualities about ourselves, and we be out there and we look damn good too. Let me throw that in there. We look damn good too. But it's not just that we got all these good qualities about ourselves. It's the fact that we teachable. We can be taught. We can be corrected. That's why God chooses us, because he can work with us, church. He can work with us. He can't work with no narcissists and no avoidance. We can't work with them. Nobody can work with them. And the reason why is because they are unteachable. They unteachable. And I'm going to tell y'all the reason why they unteachable. See, the narcissists and the avoidance, their main goal is to not have to sit in the guilt and the shame. That's their main goal, to not have to be accountable for the things that they do to people. They feel like it don't matter what they do, as long as they don't acknowledge it, it don't matter. But it do matter, because your feelings go always be at the expense of their mask and the illusion that they in. They sacrificing your feelings. And that's the part that they don't understand. They don't understand it because they're unteachable. You can't teach a narcissist nothing, and you can't teach an avoidance nothing, because they're not willing to sit in the uncomfortable truth about themselves without gaslighting, projecting, calling you names, raging, changing the story. They go do all of those things to avoid having to sit in the uncomfortable truth about who they are as a damn person. Not who they portray themselves to be, not the illusion, who they really are as people. Whatever is in their shadows that they've been running from their whole damn life, that's what the problem is. And that's what's destroying connections and destroying everything, because you can't deal with a person that's not trying to deal with their self. I'm gonna say that again. You can't deal with a person that's avoiding dealing with their self, because what happens is, in order for a person to change and to elevate and to grow, you first must have to sit in the uncomfortable truths about yourself. I wasn't happy when I found out I was a people pleaser. I wasn't happy that I found out I was a people pleaser, because that's right up there with prostitution with me. I'm right under that with prostitution. It's prostitution, then people pleasing. I didn't like it, but damn it, it's what I was doing. I had poor boundaries. Did I like that? No, I didn't know I had to be walking around with Fort Knox boundaries. But at the same time, I learned you do. You do. But that's just me, and that's just chosen ones. That's the stuff that we gotta address. We were never out there trying to destroy anything. We went out there lying, cheating, manipulating. We went out there never doing all of them things. And so the guilt and stuff that we have to deal with, it's not the same as these people. It's not the same as narcissists and avoidance, because at the end of the day, if I'm people pleasing and I'm setting poor boundaries, I'm not hurting nobody. I'm self-abandoning myself. I'm hurting myself. I'm not causing harm to other people. Matter of fact, I'm doing them a favor because I'm allowing the toxicity to go on. I'm down there enabling the dysfunction and the toxicity. But these people, that's not what they dealing with. They guilt and shame is from actions that they cause other people harm, where they hurt other people. And that's what they not trying to set in, and that's what they not trying to address, and that's what they not trying to deal with. They don't want no parts of the guilt and the shame. But see, the whole thing is they created their whole mask and their whole identity to avoid having to sit in the uncomfortable truth about themselves. And it worked for a while, but what happened is it really is a catch-22 to that, because just like they not letting no guilt and no shame in or no accountability in, they also ain't letting no change in. They also ain't, you can't change if you're not willing to be accountable, and you ain't willing to, if you're not willing to sit in the uncomfortable truth about yourself, you will never be able to grow. You will never be able to elevate. You will never be able to change. So yeah, the mask and the illusion, yeah, it did what it was supposed to do, which is keep out the guilt and the shame, but at the same time, it kept out the truth too. It kept out growth too. It kept out elevation too. So it's like they trapped themselves in their own self-made cage. They trapped themselves in their own self-made cage. And the only way that they're gonna be able to get out that cage that they created is they're gonna have to destroy that whole false self that they created. And a lot of them not willing to do that, bro. Because you gotta think, they've been constructing that mask and they've been avoiding guilt and shame their whole damn life, basically. The parts of your life that really matter, all the way into adulthood. So they running from that, and they terrified from that. That's why if you deal with them and you connected to them, if you're in a relationship with them, that's why anytime you bring any type of problem to them that you having with them, that's why they act like it's the end of the world, and they rage and they blow up and they change the narrative and they gaslight and they project. The reason why is because they don't want to sit in the guilt and the shame. Because to you, all you feel like you doing is addressing an issue that you having with them. They don't see it like that. They don't see it like that. So if you go to a person and you tell them, I don't like when you did A, B, and C, they're not hearing that as you just voicing your feelings and your emotions. They taking that as a threat to their actual identity, a threat to their false self, a threat to their mask, a threat to them having to sit in the exact thing that they've been running from their whole life. That's why they respond to you the way that they respond to you. So at the same time, the mask did what it was supposed to do, is keeping out the guilt and the shame, but it's also keeping out the truth. It's also keeping out the chance to grow and the chance to elevate. So they lock themselves in their own self-made, personalized cage, man. And what's going to end up happening is they just going to end up alone, because they hurt people and they not even acknowledging the fact that they hurt people. And it don't matter what a person's intentions is. If the result is you hurt somebody, you hurt somebody. And if they hurt you, when you address them about what they did to you, instead of addressing the fact that they hurt you and acknowledging the fact that they hurt you, instead, they go defer and they go switch it to, oh, you did this. Oh, you're this type of person. They go turn it from them having to be accountable to you defending something that they trying to say that you is that you not. But you never get down to the root of the problem though. And the root of the problem is whatever you address them with in the first place. That's why you end up going along cycles. That's why you end up on long cycles with them, because you still be addressing them 10 years later about the things you always been addressing them with. But every time you address them, y'all never get to the root of the problem. And the root of the problem is they can't say in the uncomfortable truth about themselves. That's the whole root of the problem. That's where all the gaslighting come from. That's where all the projecting come from. That's where all the switching narratives, switching stories, blame shifting, the rage, all of that come from the simple fact is narcissists and avoidance is incapable of sin and the uncomfort and the guilt and the shame of their actions. Of their actions, man. It has absolutely nothing to do with you. Nothing to do with you. So after a while, people not gonna want to deal with them, because it's one thing when a person do something to you and they come and apologize. People don't have a problem giving people second chances, but people not gonna keep giving you chance after chance if you not even willing to acknowledge what you even did in the first place. So if you did something to me and I address you with it, and instead of you acknowledging what you did and apologizing and changing, you double down, and on top of that, you disrespect me, or on top of that, you lie or gaslight or project, then you never even addressing the main issue at hand in the first place. And you doubling down, because not only is you not addressing the main issue, now you add something on top of that too. So you go into a situation and you trying to get some clarity, and you trying to speak how you feel, your feelings and your emotions, and on top of not getting an apology because maybe they did something to you, they double down and they accuse you of something else. So it's just like you just a emotional damn punching bag, bro. You just a emotional punching bag, because they refuse to sit in the uncomfort of their own actions, man. Like with me, with all chosen ones, we can self-reflect, bro. We can examine our actions. We have no problem doing that. So if a person comes to us and say, we did A, B, and C, we not just go agree with them and say, yeah, we did A, B, and C to hurt somebody, but at the same time, we willing to take an honest look at it. And if we look at it and we see that based on our moral code and based on how we operate as a person, if we see that we cross the line, we have no problem with apologizing and correcting it and making it right. But with narcissists and avoidance, you never go get the chance to make it right, because they're not even willing to examine the problem in the first place. They're not even willing to look at it, bro. They're not willing to look at it. So if a person not willing to even examine the issue, because now the issue threatens their whole identity, why a simple issue threaten a person's whole identity is beyond me. But I tell you why it threatened their whole identity, because that's what they built the mask for. Because it's not so much about what you telling them, it's about so much that they block that part out to the point where they don't want to hear nothing about themselves. Because now they got to deal with all the guilt and the shame that they've been blocking out for their whole damn life. For their whole damn life. But along with the guilt and shame comes a chance to really change. You can't begin to change if you're not even willing to examine the problem, bro. And they're not even willing to examine the problem. And once they examine the problem, they will be able to see that they are the problem. They've been the problem the whole damn time. While they was gaslighting, projecting, and doing all of those things, they've been the problem. They lack of acknowledging the problem is the problem, which is them. Which is them. That's why you will never be able to build anything with them. Because first of all, everything will be your fault. Second of all, you not gonna be able to tell them the things that they doing wrong, because they cannot be corrected. They're unteachable. They're unteachable. They're not willing to sit in the fact that they did something wrong. I don't know why a person wouldn't want to sit in the fact that they did something wrong. We all do stuff wrong, bro. We all do stuff wrong, but at the end of the day, that's their identity, running and avoiding the truth, so they don't have to look at the uncomfortable parts about themselves. That's their identity. So when you come into them about simple things or real things, when stuff get real, to them, they feel like you threatening and attacking their identity, when you might just be looking for some clarity and some change. You might just be looking to voice how you feel or how they did something that hurt your feelings, but they won't even acknowledge it. They won't even look at it, because to look at it, they have to look at their own actions. And there might be guilt and shame that sit in those actions, because they think that everything is an attack. But it's not an attack. That's why I keep saying you need healthy partners where y'all can communicate and they not taking it as an attack. You're not attacking their identity. And why is a person's identity based on not able to be accountable and not being able to accept the uncomfortable truth about yourself? Do the truth hurt sometimes? Yes, but the truth don't question my whole identity. I could be wrong. That's how I'm gonna learn. That's how I'm gonna grow. If I make mistakes, I can examine it and say, damn, I messed up. But they don't look at it like that. They look at it like, I'm a terrible person. I'm a bad person. They just go from one extreme to the next, bro. They don't got no middle ground. They not grounded, so they don't got no middle ground. So anytime they approach with anything that questions their illusion or some uncomfortable truth that they all have to sit in, that's when they go hurry up and gaslight and do all of those different things. People ain't got time for that, bro. People ain't got time for that. And what ended up happening is, instead of being able to build a relationship where it's equal reciprocity, first of all, it's no reciprocity, because they not even willing to look at themselves properly. They're not even willing to sit in the parts about themselves that they don't like. They ain't willing to sit in the guilt and the shame. So it ain't no reciprocity at all. It's you carrying all the emotional baggage for them, for what they refuse to handle. So then when people leave, they be looking around like, oh, I can't believe they left. Yeah, people's gonna leave. What you expect? What you expect? If you can't go to people and tell them what the problem is and stuff that they doing so they could actually change it without getting gaslit or without getting projected on, yeah, people gonna leave. Because what chosen ones end up realizing is talking to them is a waste of time. Talking to them is a waste of time, because they selfish. Their whole everything that they doing is only about them. It has nothing to do with you. They could hurt you, and instead of acknowledging that they hurt you, they're gaslighting and projecting and doubling down because you address them with how they hurt you. And then when you respond to that, they'll jump on the response instead of what the root of the problem is. And the root of the problem is them. It's always been them. It's always been them, bro. It was never us, because with us, we might have things about ourselves that we working on. Everybody got things about themselves that they working on. But at least we willing to see the things that we need to work on. We willing to see ourselves completely, even if it is uncomfortable, because we know that in that uncomfort is growth, it's change. It's change. That's how you learn stuff. How you go ever change if you're not even willing to see what the problem is? If you're not even willing to acknowledge that you got a problem, how you gonna ever change? And you not gonna change, and that's their problem to deal with. Because they don't have to change. But just like they got free will to not change, we got free will too to block them and go no contact and never deal with them again. Because what they're doing, they're a waste of time. Anybody who not able to look at themselves, if they're not able to look at themselves properly, they'll never be able to see you properly. And you're gonna get blamed for everything. Your needs ain't gonna never get met, because if your needs go against they illusion, then they don't care about none of that, bro. If they hurt you, they not trying to protect your feelings. They not trying to protect the truth. They trying to protect that mask, bro. They trying to protect that mask. And it's a trap, because they trap themselves. They trap themselves. Yeah, it worked growing up in their life. It worked because they kept the guilt and the shame out. But at the same time, now it's gonna keep out not only the guilt and the shame, but it's gonna keep out the growth too. It's gonna keep out the lesson too. It's gonna keep out the elevation too. So it's like they compromise growth and elevation to avoid having to see themselves in the right way. And I'm telling you, a lot of them don't want to see themselves, bro. And if I was them, I wouldn't want to see myself either, from all the things that they done did, and from the energy they done put out there, from the connections that they done destroyed, from the gaslight, from the projecting, from switching narratives to calling people names. And the people that they doing that to is the main people that was there for them the whole time. They wanted to see them want to see them elevate. So they doing that to people who want to see them elevate, people who was really in their corner, people who was really giving them grace, showing them unconditional love. They gonna have to sit with the fact of look how they treated us. Look how they treated us, all because they didn't want to heal. They didn't want to see themselves correctly, bro. And we got to the point where we not finna be the scapegoat, and we not finna deal with people's baggage, emotional baggage that they not willing to deal with. That they're not willing to deal with. We need real people. We need real divine people. People that understand if they hurt you, they need to make it down right, and they need to apologize, not double down and now call you names of rage on you when you only trying to express your emotions and your feelings to a person. Then if you don't be able to express how you feel to a person, how would the dynamic ever change? It won't never change. It won't never change. But it will change on our end because we're not dealing with it. We're not putting up with it. We dealt with that, we put up with it. If you don't want to heal and you don't want to grow and you don't want to get to know yourself better, all parts of you, I don't want to grow with you. I don't want to do that because I can't grow with you because you're not even willing to grow. I can't do nothing with you, man. I can't do nothing with you. And y'all can't do nothing with them either. Because it's no growth, it's no elevation, it's no truth. Because everything that you're trying to do go against the whole construct of why they even created their mask in the first place. And I'm sorry, I'm not being in connections with people when I can't tell them what the hell they doing that's affecting me. Are you crazy? Are you crazy? You got to be out your damn mind. Of course I'm going to tell you what you're doing. If it's affecting me, if you're doing something you hurt my feelings, or you doing this and I don't like it, you damn right I'm going to be able to tell you. Who the hell you think you is? Chelsea Carter, Chelsea Clinton or some damn body? Who the hell you think you is? Hillary Duff or some damn body? I don't know where these people are coming from. Just roll with me. Who the hell y'all think y'all is? Yosemite Sam or some damn body? No, it don't work like that. If I'm connected to people, if I'm in friendships, if I'm in relationships, whatever I'm in, I'm going to be able to talk to them. I'm going to be able to tell them exactly what the hell they did to hurt me. And damn it, you go acknowledge it. And you go change your behavior. You go get the hell away from me. You'll get away from me. See, all of that people pleasing, that stuff dead. People pleasing season is over, bro. Now we getting down to the nitty gritty. And the nitty gritty is stop playing with us, nigga. You go show up the right way. Ain't no gaslighting, ain't no projecting. If you don't want to see yourself, I don't want to see you either. If you're trying to avoid yourself, nigga, I'm avoiding you too. I'm avoiding you too. You know why I'm avoiding you? Because it's the reason why you avoiding your damn self. Shit, if a nigga avoiding they self, that's all I need to know. Okay, I'm avoiding your ass too. Good looking, nigga. Good looking. I ain't even have to find out for myself. You showed me, nigga. You showed me. Third eye in the sky. Like, comment, subscribe, do all of those good things, man. But they unteachable, bro. Hit the chime, hit the cash app. They unteachable, man. And like I said, that's the reason why we got chosen, because we teachable. We willing to learn. We got blamed for every damn thing anyway. The scapegoats, of course, we teachable. Shit, of course we teachable. We done been called every Tom, Dick, and Harry in the book, nigga. They done smeared our name all the way to East Africa, nigga. For real, they done abused us all the way. What? They abused us straight to hell and back, man. So we don't mind being corrected. We want to be corrected. Shit, tell us what to do, God. Tell me which way to go, God. What am I doing wrong? Lord, let me know so I could do it. For real, but not them, man. They don't want to sit in the truth about themselves, bro. And the way that they act and the way that they behave, yeah, they show us the mask. We don't know what the hell underneath that mask, nigga. Shit, they be walking around like they damn Betty Crocker, man. That might be Jeffrey Dahmer under that damn mask. No, keep it on. Keep the mask on, nigga. Hold on. Hold on. Don't take it off yet. Hold on, nigga. Don't take the mask off yet. We don't know what the hell underneath that shit. All we had was people pleasing and boundaries, nigga. That's a piece of cake. We handled that over the weekend. By Monday, we was back outside like, okay, not too close. I got boundaries. Bag up, bitch. Bag up, bitch. People can't kiss my ass. I ain't no people pleaser. We was mean for a couple of days, got that shit out of our system, and we learned our damn lesson. People pleasing equals abuse, nigga. Well, okay, we got it. This ain't advanced calculus, nigga. People pleasing equals abuse, nigga. Emotional, spiritual, physical, sometimes it equals abuse. And we stop. That ain't the case with them, man. They got a lot that they need to work on, bro. And the first thing, it needs to be being able to be taught, because you can't work on shit if you won't even acknowledge your ass got a problem. Nigga getting drunk as hell every day. Niggas like, man, you sure you ain't got no drinking problem? Hell no, I ain't got no drinking problem. Hell no, I ain't got no drinking problem. Take me to the liquor store, nigga. Hell no, I ain't got no drinking problem. Hey, bro, your liver fell out down the street, man. That ain't my liver. That ain't my liver, nigga. I ain't got no drink. Yeah, you got a drinking problem, bro. And the sooner you admit it, the sooner you can take your ass to the Betty Forrest Center or whatever the hell you supposed to go to and get you some damn help, my nigga. These niggas just out there, and then I'm cool, nigga, till they pass out one day and die. What happened to John, man? They passed out there, liver fell out again. Hey, third eye in the sky, man. Hey.